Harry lost. Not narrowly. Not on a technicality he can spin into a moral victory. Every single claim was thrown out, one after another, until there was absolutely nothing left standing. This is an extraordinary courtroom verdict. Prince Harry has lost his £50 million case against the Daily Mail. But as he arrived for a speech at Chatham House, the exact moment this devastating verdict was announced, it became glaringly obvious that he hadn't just lost a lawsuit. He had lost his reputation. Welcome back to the channel, where we pull back the curtain on the world's most high-profile elite power struggles and look past the glossy headlines to see what's really happening. The prince stood at a podium in London with nobody beside him. No wife, no family, just a single sheet of paper and a voice that kept catching in his throat. 90 minutes earlier, a judge sitting just a short distance away had finished handing him the worst afternoon of his entire public life. The privacy case against the publisher of the Daily Mail, the one he built his entire post-royal identity around, the one he swore for years in interview after interview that he was going to win against everyone who doubted him, was gone in a single ruling. And the woman he stood in a witness box back in January and cried over, the one whose suffering he blamed entirely on the press, was 5,000 miles away, safely behind the gates of a mansion in California. She had made it very clear, days and even weeks before today's verdict, that she was simply not getting on a plane for this, no matter what the outcome turned out to be. So he stood there entirely on his own and read a few careful lines about veterans. Chin up, jaw tight, doing his absolute best to hold it together. People who were actually in that room said his voice was audibly shaking, while the entire watching world saw the wheels come off in real time, live, with nowhere left to hide. It is highly possible that the Daily Mail could now seek revenge on Harry and go after him for millions more in legal costs, because they have been dragged through the mud on this one. But here is the question nobody said out loud in that room, but that everyone was thinking and is probably still thinking hours later. If this fight was supposedly for her all along, if that is the story we were told repeatedly for years, then where exactly, on today of all days, was she? Sit with that for a moment. This is not just a court result. This is the day the great Sussex love story quietly cracked straight down the middle in front of everyone. We are going to walk through exactly what that judge said, exactly what this entire disaster is going to end up costing the two of them financially, and exactly why the silence coming out of Montecito tonight might turn out to be the loudest sound in this whole saga. There are commentators openly stating that Harry is now a proven liar, or, to be kind, a serial memory variant in the eyes of the law. Not only is Harry personally compromised, but reports indicate the Invictus Games themselves are now facing serious financial trouble because of the fallout. Let's go through what actually happened today, step by step, because the mainstream headlines have been strangely gentle about the true scale of it. Almost as if nobody wants to say plainly just how badly this went. This was not, by any honest or fair reading of what happened in that courtroom, a close result in any sense of the word. The judge worked through the claims one by one, and there were dozens upon dozens of them, stretching back years, and dismissed the entire lot without leaving a single one standing. Harry and 6 other well-known claimants had accused the publisher of the Daily Mail of the darkest kind of intrusion there is: tapped phones, bugged homes, and private lives pried open by hired investigators working in the shadows. These were grave accusations built up over years of preparation, and the judge's answer, in essentially plain, kitchen table language, was that none of it had been proven. Suspicion, the court ruled, is not the same thing as evidence. The judge looked the newspaper's journalists in the eye, listened to how they explained getting their stories, and believed them, not Harry. For a man who has spent years telling anyone who would listen that the British press operates like a criminal enterprise, that it hacked and hunted and hounded him without a shred of consequence for far too long, this is a catastrophic reality check. He took them to court. He raised his hand and swore an oath, and the court turned around and said the newspaper had told the truth, and the prince had not made his case. There is no soft way to describe that outcome, no gentle spin available for a man who staked his entire public identity on being proven right and was instead proven on the evidence to be wrong. He did not go down alone, either.